everyone, my name is Haley. I am going to be doing a short video on beginner's tips on learning to read tarot, and I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible anyway. Um, so for starters, I'll just go ahead and get right into it. My first tip in learning to read tarot is just to throw out all of the rules that you thought that you should follow. A lot of people believe that you should not buy your own deck, that you should be gifted your first deck. I mean, if that's what you believe, then more power to you. Some people think that you should cleanse your cards, that you should do this or you should do that, or that there's a right or wrong way to do it. I do cleanse my cards because on my spiritual path that I follow, I believe that that is good to get rid of any of the negative or any other types of energies that might be throwing off your reading. However, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. Do what feels right for you. Do what you believe resonates well with you. Do what you want to do, basically. The second tip that I would follow when starting out is just to keep it simple. There are a lot of themed decks out there, and it is really hard to learn off of a themed deck when you are first starting. I suggest a standard deck when you're first starting out. It is so much easier to try to follow that than going off of one that is very pretty and has different meanings and everything than what the standard deck does. Um, I do have a lot of those now. I made the mistake of starting off with a theme deck, and it was a nightmare because then I had to try to understand why I couldn't find it in the online when I was looking up the meanings, trying to understand what each card meant because it was a themed deck, so the arcanas were different than what the standard deck was, and that was very, very difficult. So I suggest starting off with the standard deck, like your Rider-Waite deck or something along those lines. My third step that or third tip, sorry, that I would say to follow before you make a connection with your deck. If you do believe in cleansing your cards, I would do that first before you start taking a look at them, before you start trying to interpret them or understand their meanings. If you believe in cleansing your cards, now would be the time to do so. The next tip that I have is to be creating that connection with your deck. I think it is very important for you to bond with them, familiarize yourself with them, just really get a feel for their energy, let them get your energy flow. I think that is really important with every deck that you get. The next tip that I have when starting out is to simply just look at the picture of each card and just kind of try to understand what's going on in each picture. Look at it and see, what's happening in it. Is there a story behind the picture? And if so, what's the moral of the story? Another tip that I have for when you're beginning is to try to just put keywords with each card. There are 78 different cards in the standard deck. They all have different meanings. It is hard to try to remember, what's in the guidebook for each and every card. There's a really big long description, and sometimes that can be overwhelming when you're trying to memorize 78 different cards. So just try to put a couple keywords with each one, and then that will spark your memory on what that meaning is of each card. Another tip I have is to start off by drawing one card a day. If you draw one card a day, you're going to have that one whole card to think of all day long, and you'll really begin to memorize the meaning of each one when you're doing it one at a time, and you have one whole day to reflect on what that card was trying to tell you for that day. The next tip I have is to start off using simple spreads. like 1, 2, or 3 card spreads. If you start reading tarot and you go full on Celtic Cross, that spread is going to be a lot more difficult than just trying to do a 1 to 3 card pull, and if you don't understand all the meanings and everything, you're just going to get lost. If you can pull out a Celtic Cross spread and come up with a meaning for everything effortlessly, then tarot was just meant for you anyway. So, I mean, if you can do that, that's pretty impressive. The next step I have is to just get in tune with your intuition. It is easier said than done, but when you can focus and, really go to your cards with an open mind and heart, and you're ready to receive the message that they're giving you, that really is the ideal way to do a card reading. The last and final step that I have for you today is to start reading, for yourself. Start doing all your readings on your own and interpreting them for yourself, because it can be overwhelming if you haven't had a lot of practice with them, if you haven't really had time to sit down and try to learn some of the meanings on your own, and then you go and try to do readings for other people, and then you feel pressured, and you just are really uncomfortable in that situation. So before you start branching out to doing readings on other people, really get familiar with your the cards yourself, and make sure that you're comfortable reading for yourself before you branch out to a friend or a family member or something. That is what I suggest, and these are the 10 tips that I have for you when you're starting out. I will be making some more videos, but right now that's what I have to begin with. And like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do it. I really highly suggest just doing what feels right for you, and what just resonates right with you and your soul. So that's all I have for today. I will be back to make some more videos, and I hope that this helps. Thank you.